Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back. My name's Johnny, and today I've got a video for you that's a little bit different than what I've done before. It's quite a bit different. I know I always say that, but this one's actually quite a bit different. But stick with me. I promise the payoff is 100% worth it. So as many of you know, I just started this channel just a few weeks ago as of posting this video, and a lot of the content that's really taken off has been the reacting to K-pop and just learning about K-pop stuff, specifically BTS, Blackpink, stuff like that. And, you know, I want to keep bringing you new and fresh stuff. I don't just want to sit there and have the exact same thing over and over, listening to the same or listening to a song for the first time over and over again. So I did a little bit of digging, and I found this 8D live, I want to say remix, but it's basically a remix of PiedPiper, and I listened to it, and I was a little bit underwhelmed here. And to be specific, I'm not underwhelmed with the performance of this video. It actually performed very, very, very well, but it was more of the actual 8D processing, or I guess editing, I should say. I don't want to call it a remix, but the actual editing on here I felt wasn't top quality, and that's not to knock Umums. I think they did a great job for, you know, trying to actually reproduce the effect. But something that you might not know about me is that I actually got one of my very first breaks on YouTube by doing 8D audio, binaural audio. And so I have quite a bit of experience doing this stuff, and I thought it would be a really, really fun thing to actually show you, number one, how I'm going to do it, and number two, I'm going to make a virtual concert for everybody. So I know that everybody can't go out there, you can't see, you know, the Bangtan boys, you know, strut their stuff on stage. So I'm going to bring them to you. I'm going to make this as personable as possible, and hopefully this is something that you enjoy, and I'm going to show you the process. And yeah, let's get started. In order for me to make this effect, I have a specific set of programs and software and stuff like that that I use. I personally use Fruity Loop Studio, FL Studio. I also use Audacity, and the specific plugin that you're going to need to actually recreate the 3D environment is called the Sennheiser Ambio Orbit plugin. I believe there's a new name for it now. It's like DR something. But if you look up the name of this, if you just Google this name, you'll see the actual link for the plugin. And you're going to need a little bit of patience because this can get a little bit tiring, and I'd recommend an ear for music. Now, I have heard of people just using Audacity to do this, but I'm not a fan of using Audacity to that degree. If you're comfortable with it, more power to you. But I prefer FL Studio. There's a little bit more plugins that I like to play with in order to really nail that effect. But this is what you're going to need. At bare minimum, you're going to need this, but preferably this. So first things first, you've got to find a way to actually get the concert video that you want to use. I'm going to leave that to your own devices to figure out. There's plenty of ways of doing it, but I'm going to let you figure that out, just because I don't know if I'm going to violate any kind of, you know, terms or anything like that by spreading some information like that. I don't know. I feel like YouTube would probably be against that, but there's ways of doing it. Just use your brain and be safe. So that's step one. Step two is separating the video from the music. Now I prefer, so there's two ways of doing it. Okay, you can download the video and then download the audio separately. However, I prefer getting the video as a whole and then separating the music from the video by itself. And the reason why I do that is just in case there's some sort of slight difference in the audio only file that you download. This way, whatever audio that I'm pulling in is going to match right back up with the video. So separating the actual video and audio is a fairly simple process. Like I said, I like to use Audacity for this purpose, but as long as you have the proper codecs, I think it's FFL MPEG codec pack, you should be able to do this. It's a very common pack. If you don't have it, it'll tell you what you need, and you'll be able to download that as well. All I have to do is take the video, drag it in here, and it's going to separate the audio and file export as MP3, and test. Okay, dead air. All right, and here it is right here. Cool. Okay, so now that you've got your actual MP3, what you're going to do is you're going to take that, drop it into FL Studio. Again, if you're using FL Studio, this is going to be the steps that you take. If you're using Audacity, I can't help you with that one. So on top of dropping that in there, you're going to take your mixer over here, I'm going to try to keep everything out of the camera view. Let me actually make this thing just a little bit smaller. There we go. So there's a few things that I always preload, okay? So in your mixer, this is how you're going to actually add your presets or your plugins. These are going to be like kind of like filters, but you know, you get it from there. I always add in Fruity Reverb 2. You can see over here on the left-hand side, that's what it does there. It's going to be to further enhance the simulated room space. Fruity Bass Boost, because concerts always have a lot of bass. And then Ambio Orbit. So this is going to be the actual program over here that will create the effect for us. So going into this, we already know that it's 94 BPM, beats per minute. The reason why I know that for a fact is I actually just dropped it into a DJ software. I DJed for a lot of years. So this was always the easiest way to accurately get a beat per minute that I could either, you know, rely on or be almost exactly where I need it to be. So we're looking at about 94 beats per minute. So it's going to be a little bit of a slower rotation in order to match the vibe of the song, the actual groove of the song. So we know that. And what we have to do here, basically what we're going to do is, let's see here, we select a small area like this. Now, if you notice, I clicked over here at the top, right? And this is the tool that you use right here. What is this called? It's just a select tool. So we click that, okay? And you have to follow these steps in order, okay? You come to Ambio, you do a rotation, okay? Then you go Tools, Last Tweak, Create Automation Clip, okay? Now you have this little purple thing that shows up, okay? What you've got to do, you've got to take the pencil, drag the left side all the way down, and the right side all the way up, okay? Dragging the left side to the bottom and the right side to the top, or vice versa, basically completes the entire rotation, the entire 360 degrees. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and let's bring us back and let's see if it gives us any kind of, where's play? There it is. Okay, you hear that? So the way that I like to do this is, number one, I believe that 8D audio should come right over here as it travels through your headphones. And again, this isn't going to work if you're listening on your iPhone or anything like that. If you're listening on a sound bar, unless it's ultra high end and simulates 5.1 or 7.1 sound, you're not going to be able to get this effect. It's pretty much only for headphones, and the higher quality headphones you have, the more you'll be able to actually experience out of this. Okay, so what I've done is I've gone ahead and I've just repeated the pattern a few times over here. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to drop this master level down in here, just so we have, so it's not blaring in our ears the entire time. Make sure over here on the right-hand side, make sure these effects are off, which is the reverb and the bass boost, and only the orbit is on. We can leave limiter, we'll leave it on, it's fine. So to me, the way this sounds right now is that it sounds like it's actually coming like right over here. As it passes from left to right, it sounds like it's coming right over here, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back over here and I'm going to drop my elevation a little bit. Let's go 17 degrees. All right, let's try it again now. Okay, so it's a little bit better. I'll go 21. Okay, so that seems good. Okay, so off the bat, I can tell you the rotations are too fast. Rotations are way too fast. So let's go ahead and make those, let's double them in length. We're going to double the length of the rotations. Let's go ahead and do that real quick. All right, so we've got our rotations increased over here, or our length of time for our rotations. Let's try again. I think it needs to be even slower. I think it needs to be maybe 30% slower. So let's go ahead and do that real quick. Okay, so I went ahead and swapped the rotation. I'm sorry, I increased the rotation. I also changed it from left to right to left. So let's check it out now. I think I'm going to take reflections completely off on here, and here's why. Basically, I can I can simulate or do the exact same effect using reverb over here. And I've always noticed that reverb just sounds a little bit better. That's why I always have it queued up but turned off. So I'm going to mess with this for a second, and I will come back with the proper settings. Okay, I'm back. So here's the settings that I found that seem to have worked best for the effect that I would like to simulate. If you'd like, oh, here you go. If you want a screenshot or something, maybe I'll zoom in the video. Zoom in right here, by the way. And what I did is, let me show you what it sounds like. Here we go. Okay, so I also added the bass boost on there. Let me show you how that works. So basically the way that I do it is I crank the amount all the way up, and then I figure out which frequency I would really like to boost up. So I'm at 71 right here. Let me see. Let me show you guys. Make sure it's on. Yep. So this is turned all the way up. I'm adjusting frequency all the way up. You hear that difference? This is really loud. Let me turn this down. Hopefully you heard the difference in that. But I liked 71. So let's back it up a little bit. Let's back it up. I'm turning it off for you now. Turning off 3, 2, 1. You hear that difference? That's the difference that a concert makes. Listen, I'll do. Oh, this is off. Now on. And here's the thing is I know a lot of people maybe say, oh, you know, boosting the bass is not true to the original. However, I disagree based on the few performances that I've seen. I mean, the bass is rattling. I mean, it's going. So this is true to at least what you'll hear in audio form. This is pretty similar. It actually, a lot of the times, the bass actually blows out the rest of it, but that's not the purpose of this. We're just trying to simulate the experience as close as possible. So there's actually one more thing I forgot to mention. I just remembered because I had to actually look it up because I couldn't remember what actual plugin had the brighten option under it. But it is this right here, and this is called the Fruity Multiband Compressor. And I set it to the brighten mode, the brighten preset. And this is what it sounds like now. All right, now let me replay it for you again from the very beginning. And what I'm going to do is turn everything off. All right, so here we go. What I'm going to do is turn every single thing off here. And this is how it sounds normally. and now I'm going to add everything in. Okay, so once that drum beat comes in, I'm going to replay it. When the drum beat comes in, I'm going to turn everything on. Okay. Hopefully you can tell a little bit of a difference. So let's finish the entire song out now. I do warn you, if if they copyright me for using these like 15 seconds in this video, I'll probably end up muting those parts. So hopefully you understand. But yeah, don't worry. You'll see the final product regardless. So let's go ahead and finish doing this. Basically what I'm doing to finish it is recreating the rest of the Ambio Orbit signatures over here until the end of the song. So that would finish the entire thing for us. So let's do that. Okay. So here are the final settings. I could always, spend hours on end adjusting this, but for the purpose of today's lesson, so to speak, this will work just fine. So let's review in order. The Ambio Orbit was set at -21 elevation. Actually dropped clarity and width back to 0, reflections off. For our reverb 2, we set our settings right over here. Basically, we crank dry all the way up. Wet is about 3/4, I think, a little bit under 3/4, and our early reflections are pretty much all the way down. What else we got? Bass boost is set at 71 hertz, cranked almost to the max. That's right over here. And then we got our multiband compressor set to bright. And then I turn the threshold and ratio, I turn the threshold down on the high band and ratio up just a little bit, and the gain a little bit down on the high band. So that is going to give us our final product, at least for now. We're going to export as, we're going to do WAV file. We're going to do BTS AD tests, save. And we're going to have it as high quality as possible. Shouldn't take too long if you've got a fairly decent computer. And there it is. That's the final product done. All right, so you've got the audio done. You have the video already downloaded. All you've got to do is basically match them up. And this is how we're going to do it here in Sony Vegas. Fairly simple process. Depending on what you have, your process could vary slightly, but it's all pretty straightforward. So what I did is I dragged, so this is my media bin right here. I already put my video file right here and the new audio file right here. When I drag the video file down, it takes the video track. So this is a video track right here, and this is an audio track right here. Puts them together. I'm just going to take the audio track from up here, drag it underneath, and it should line up pretty much exactly. It's a little bit of a a little bit of a run on over here, and that's just from the last pattern of the rotation. That's the only reason why that's there. So in Sony Vegas, the way you'd want to do it is, the simplest way is just hit this button, mute, and this audio track for the video, the original one, is now muted. So let's see if it worked. Fingers crossed. It seems to be 100% on point to me. That was one thing I noticed, and it could have just been me, maybe like that 1 second that I saw, but it seemed like the other video was slightly off cue. I could be mistaken. But that pretty much makes it into a concert, simulated concert. What I'm going to do is just add some more special effects and stuff like that, just to jazz it up a bit, but that's definitely not necessary if you want to recreate this on your own. But yeah, that's pretty much it. What'd you think? Was this fun to watch? Y'all want to see some more? You want me to make some more of these? Let me know what you think. This was fun for me just because I enjoy doing more creative things, which I'm going to show you what I'm capable of, but not right now. I've got a lot of surprises for y'all. But yeah, if you liked it, thumbs up, please. Subscribe if you would like to see more. It would be amazing. You guys have treated me so well since I started here on YouTube or on this channel, and I'm excited to see where we go. So I would love to see everybody come back for another one. Comments, suggestions, all that good stuff in the comments, comment box down below. At Johnny Zeta TV at Instagram and Twitter. Go follow me. Go follow me. I'm gonna have a surprise for everybody that follows me. And that's it. I think we're done here. Stay tuned for the release of this video, or maybe the video already came out. I don't know. We'll see. Till next time. Thanks. Bye.